Thanks everybody for joining us. This is Zach with Forge3, and I've got Kat Ternes here as well. We're going to go over a little bit about the Active Agency platform with Forge3, our website platform, and then we're going to do a short demo of AgencyZoom as well. What we want to do is we want to show off how these things actually tie together, right? So a little bit of background on myself. We kind of went into that a little bit earlier, but I'm the director of new business here. That's my fiance, Emily. We're getting married in July. I think Kat actually has her save the date on the fridge over there, although she still can't remember what the date is.
Already asked about it, can't remember.
Literally the point of a save the date, but it's okay. So with us here, we've got Kat Ternes. So introduce yourself, Kat. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'm Kat. I'm the Vice President of Sales, Marketing, Success, Support at AgencyZoom. So we've just kind of lumped that into sales or revenue. I've been at AgencyZoom since 2019. We are a sales enablement, a CRM. We tie into most of your agency management systems. So cool part of the partnership is now the leads that you guys have coming in from your Forge3 website, your customer interactions, you name it, through AgencyZoom. You guys will be able to communicate with those customers. And then from an E&O standpoint, all of those details most frequently are going to end up in your AMS as well. So there's some really cool stuff going on. Like I said, if you guys heard it earlier, I started my InsurTech career actually as an SDR for Zack. So this is kind of full circle, and it's fun to bring together a partnership now between two entirely different companies.
Absolutely.
Have not worked together since, and I don't know if we could work together anymore. I think we.
No, you've learned too much. You're like up here now, and I'm still coasting. But we're doing all right. So background on AgencyZoom, they do a great job. I mean, just my 2 cents. And long story short, they're going to help you to sell more insurance, right? Write more business. What we're doing here, this is going to be a monthly thing with us at Forge3 as well. So we'll start to highlight different third-party, technologies and stuff like that within the industry. So tune in for emails and updates on all that stuff. So I want to dive in, and we're going to try and make this short and sweet. So what you guys should see along the bottom is there's a chat, and there's also a Q&A section. So Kat, while I do my demo, she's going to watch the Q&A section. So ask any questions you have as we're going through this stuff, and we'll either ask them right away or hold them till the end if they don't apply. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen here. So I wanted to highlight a couple sites that we build. So I mean, just background on Forge3, we've been around since 2004. We only deal with insurance, no other industries. A couple sites that we've built, these are actually also AgencyZoom clients. So Watchman Insurance Group, these guys are down in North Carolina. Really like the look and feel of this site. Big difference that you'll see with Forge3 is we actually set you guys up with a graphic designer and a content writer to put together the look and the feel of the site, right? So you can tell, we go into a little bit of background on who they are, why they're called Watchman Insurance Group. Big thing about your website is it needs to be a reflection of your agency, right? I mean, it can't just be cookie cutter, it can't just be a template, it has to show who you are, but it also needs to be super easy to use, right? I've seen agency websites, and Kat, you've seen a few too, where you can't even find their phone number. Guys, that's a problem, okay? If that is your website currently, we need to fix that. Whether you go with us or not, just add your phone number to your website. But we want to highlight, what makes the agency different. So they've got their 4C promise. We include over 150 pages of content in the site, and each page is going to be tied to a different line of business, a different group of keywords. So we want to make sure that we're helping you to cast a wide net as far as what keywords you're looking to rank for online, right? Reviews. This is also something that AgencyZoom can help you out with, right? So testimonials, reviews, anything good that someone has to say about your agency, we want to plaster it all over the website. It's pretty simple. The more good stuff people see about you, the more people are going to reach out because they have that validation. Now, this is one of the tools that's built into our sites. So this is Clickable Coverage. Clickable Coverage is just a series of interactive graphics. We've got about 44 of these right now. We're constantly adding more. So if we don't have one for a line of business you guys write, let us know. Goal behind this is to teach people a little bit about the coverage they need, right? So as people are clicking through these little yellow hotspots, each one goes over a different risk factor, and then it goes over the coverage that's needed to mitigate that risk. Right? So you're teaching people, you're helping yourself to sell based on value rather than just price. But also at the end of the day, one thing that Google's really focused on is the user experience behind a website, right? So they're starting to look at time spent on the page, click-through rate, conversion rate, things like that. So the longer somebody stays on your site, the more times they click, and then the more people that reach out to you, the better you're going to do from a website standpoint. So clickable coverage, it's a very nice, shiny object to hold people's attention, right? That's the problem. So if you put all this content on a page, nobody's going to read it. You put it behind a blinking yellow dot, they click on almost every one of them. It's just human nature. So wanted to highlight another site here. Let's do a quick, walkthrough. We can put videos wherever you want. You can see they've got a welcome video. Again, the goal is just to talk about you guys as an agency. You can see the difference between these sites. If you like them, great. It gives us a direction to go in as far as building your new site. If you don't like them, that's still good because it still gives us a direction, but I'd prefer if you like them. So, either way. This is our demo site. So the demo site's a little bit more generic than the rest because we don't really have much to go off of because it's not a real agency. But just to show you guys some of the content that is built into the site, you'll see all of these are separate landing pages, right? And that content writer is actually going to customize each of these to fit your agency, your location, and everything like that. Right? So each page is going to be tied to a different line of business, different group of keywords. So what that's going to do is it helps you to cast a really wide net as far as what you're looking to rank for. You don't have to use all this stuff if you don't want to. Again, it's completely up to you. You just tell us what you want. Right? So somebody searches for home insurance, Columbus, Ohio. The goal is link to your site's going to pop up, right? When they click on that link, it actually takes them directly to the home insurance page rather than taking them to your home page and they've got to hunt through and find what they were looking for. We want to get them the information that they need right away. So a little bit of content. There's that clickable coverage graphic. We've tested this. The average time spent on our sites is actually about 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And then there's that quote request form as well. So again, these forms will actually lead into AgencyZoom as well. We'll go into that in a second and once I hand it off to Kat here. But a couple other things I wanted to highlight. We do have live chat built into the site. We do have a client center that can help you from a service standpoint, or we can tie into a lot of different agency management systems, client centers. So whether it's like CSR24 or EasyLinks or anything like that. And then another tool that's built into the site is actually called Hello Producer, right? So Hello Producer is a great way to customize the site for each employee that you have, right? We call ActiveAgency for a reason, right? We want people to use it. The more you use it, the better your site's going to perform, right? So if you see up here at the top of the page where I added that hashtag Zack, that's my Hello Producer tag. So watch what happens when I refresh this page. Okay, there we go. Second time's a charm. So if you see that down on the bottom right, it actually pulls up my name, my face, my direct line, my direct email, right? It's click to call, click to email. It also changes the contact information up at the top of the page. And then that's going to follow you wherever you go within the site, right? So say I go to the brewery insurance page. So what this is doing is it's giving your people a way to promote themselves while promoting the agency at the same time, right? So it follows you everywhere you go. Any form that comes in is actually going to come in with that producer's name attached to it as well. So you can just encourage people to use that, right? There's a couple other features, but I want to keep this short and sweet. So if you're interested in learning more about ActiveAgency, you can always schedule a demo after this. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was actually video proposals, right? So video proposals are just a different way to get in front of people. I'm sure a lot of you guys are using these now. What you can do is you can actually record your screen and record your face. And then what that's going to do is it's going to build that video directly into a landing page on your website. Right? So this is the back end of the site. If some of you guys haven't seen this, what we've got here, I'll show actually one that Jeff made last week for the F3 network. So once you create a video proposal, it just allows you to record your screen, record your face. There's a ton of different things that you can do with it. One I would recommend you start with is just record an introduction. I might say, hey, this is Zach. Thanks for requesting a quote. We're working on this right now. We'll let you know if we need anything else, but we look forward to working with you. Right? You can just record that one time, send it over and over again. They don't know that you didn't make it for them, right? So, or you can get a little bit deeper into it and actually highlight the differences between the coverages and kind of do a policy overview, right? So we've actually seen an increase in close rates of about 15% for agencies that use this on a regular basis. So you can see here, we've got Jeff, he's down there in the bottom right-hand corner. You can change the size of how big or little you want your face to be there. I guess it just depends on your looks. And then you can actually have a couple PDFs just comparing the two as you're going through on the site. So any questions so far, Kat? Anything come in?
We did have 2 come in. So the one that's most current that came in is, what platform are you using for videos?
Yep. So there's a ton of different platforms you can use. What we use is Screencast-O-Matic on the back end. We build that into the site. You can also use Loom. Loom's a free option that you can go with. They do a great job. The big difference, though, is with what we do, it's actually driving more traffic to the site. Whereas with Loom, you're actually driving traffic to like their servers, right? So you're kind of giving them the benefit of that traffic rather than you taking advantage of it.
I will highlight too, while we're here, we have a ton of agencies that are doing exactly what Zach said, and we're able to track that conversion metric. A lot of them are sending out a welcome video when someone first submits a lead that says, hey, I'm Kat, I'd love to be in touch with you. Thanks for your interest in the agency. And it brings them to this page with that video, gets that traffic back on the website, gets them more informed, gets them interacting with ActiveAgency, and keeps them in your sales cycle so that they're not shopping and going any further. And Paul actually asked to the effect of a welcome video. And I think he means a little bit more broadly, but Zach, you probably get this question more often. He said, how do you feel about a welcome video to the website to share?
So I think that a welcome video on the site is great. You don't want to have something that automatically plays. Kat, I don't know if you remember all those websites that used to have automatically playing videos. Yep. That's a good way to scare the crap out of somebody, especially if their volume's all the way up. So have an agency video. We have a few agencies that do that. We can embed them wherever you want on the site. I think it's a great way to do it. And video always helps to keep people on the site longer, right?
New question that came in said they already use Forge3 and they love it. Just partnered with AgencyZoom. Thanks for joining us. So who do I contact to get the website synced with AgencyZoom? Zach's going to show you that kind of as our handoff, because it naturally can happen that when someone clicks on get a quote there at the top right, that it immediately launches into AgencyZoom. And then you guys could have this video proposal that we're even looking at there go out directly to them as follow-up of, I'll be with you shortly, I'm just wrapping up a meeting. So there's a lot of things that work in tandem. So you guys will get to see that here shortly. And there's a couple different ways we can do it depending on where you're tracking your metrics and how you guys feel about your overall brand experience. So we'll talk through those at the end once you guys kind of see it start to finish. Other question that we got earliest, Zach, and kind of just coming back to as we hand this off, someone asked, are the AgencyZoom reviews automatically integrated into the website, or are a few reviews selected for each website? So clarification for anyone that's not familiar with AgencyZoom, we survey your customers and then you set a threshold when we survey them that says, I'm comfortable with someone who gave me 4 out of 5 stars, also leaving me a Google review. So all of our reviews instantaneously go over to Google for you, again, at that comfort threshold, whatever you guys want to, do to improve your brand footprint. From there, Zach, can you talk a little bit about how you guys either get Google reviews onto the website, or obviously curated ones are becoming more and more common too?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, typically what we recommend is that you just grab a few that really speak to what you do and add those onto the site. I know we can set stuff up where they could automatically pull, but I usually like to go into a little bit more detail. When you see like A+ customer service or something like that, that's super simple, that doesn't really carry as much weight as when you say hey, I had a claim and Kat really helped me to walk through it. She walked me through every step of the process and we got everything figured out, right? So those are the ones that you really want to highlight on the site. All right, so anything else?
I think that's, oh, actually, I was just about to say,
Right.
that's it. And now a new question came in. Are the sites ADA compliant?
All right, so Scott, that's a very, very good question. So we do everything we can to make them as ADA compliant as possible. We're not attorneys or anything like that, but what we do is we usually recommend you use a plugin. We actually have a resource on our website. So if you go to Help Center on the Forge3 site, and anybody can use this resource, you don't have to be an active agency client. But if you just go to Help Center right here, you can pull up this ADA compliance for insurance agency websites, right? So there's an entire resource here that goes over what plugins to use, what is ADA compliance, how does all this stuff work, right? So the answer is, can we guarantee that the site's always going to be exactly ADA compliant? No. Do we put our best efforts towards making it as compliant as possible? Yes. So we put a disclaimer on the site, and we usually use one of 3 plugins that make the site more accessible. So let's see here. So let's do this. Let's show the AgencyZoom side of things. So what we've done here is we've got this little insurance quote request form on the demo site. I'm going to go ahead and submit this. And then Kat, it's your show.
You betcha. All right, so give me 2 seconds here because it takes about 2 seconds for it actually to plan through. And we're good? Okay, so in the background, you guys can't see it yet, but that lead from Zack just came through. Again, you guys have a couple options on how you'd like to build your site, where you want to track your conversion metrics, pros and cons to each, but you guys can get these leads directly in there so that you don't have double entry. And the bigger thing that's most important is that you guys don't have an extensive wait time. We surveyed 150 agencies in the top 50 metropolitan areas, all of the ones that had beautiful websites, great SEO, that they were ranking high. And the average response rate on those agencies, guys, was so slow, way behind the curve. In the first 5 minutes, you have a 21 times greater likelihood if you get a hold of that person. So when we look at the fact that Zack came in here, one, he's going to immediately come in as Forge3, your website vendor, which for AgencyZoom gives us a lot of flexibility around your lead type. We can control whether you get a commercial lead or a personal lines lead from Forge3. He showed breweries earlier. If you got a brewery, they could get a different first text. They could get a different first email, and that could go out instantaneously. As I mentioned, a lot of the agencies that send out an email first are including that video link that Zack was just showing you. Welcome to our agency. I'm going to be with you quickly. Here's a link to schedule. You name it. There's so much that they can do. And then you guys can see here too, what's your automation flow? So the thing that I think is important, and some of the things that Zack has touched on, is having a modern customer experience, whether it's something like ActiveAgency where your customers are interacting, or even if it's for your sales producers. Not everybody who comes in off of your website, even if 2 people are looking for home insurance, are going to have the exact same timeline or even want to text or even want to email. Well, we can do all of that. You're going to want, and your sales team's going to want to be able to adjust it very quickly. So if Zack comes in from the website and says, shit, I'm so sorry, I'm going on vacation. Joke's on you, Kat. I'll be back in a week. We can unenroll him from the sequence and press pause. When he gets back, we can go ahead and re-enroll him, or we can turn off some reminders for our CSRs to even try and call and schedule him, you name it. So the whole process that we have is really iterative and very adaptive for what your sales cycle is like, what your agency's brand is like. We don't want to put all this effort into a beautiful website, attracting all these clients and, great prospects, and then not, follow through, which quite frankly, when we did that study, a lot of agencies that are spending tons on their websites and are doing a lovely job aren't following through. You guys are generating great prospects and then just not taking the time to get in front of them. So this is a good way, instead of for every website lead that comes in having to make every single one of these tasks, they get pre-created. And as the agency owner, you can control that customer experience and that full journey. and then it moves. So let's say I do send Zack his video proposal. He schedules with me for this afternoon. I had 30 minutes on my calendar. I talked to him and now he's quoted. All I have to do to change his automation is drag and drop him over here. So now he gets a text message. Hey, Zack, it's Kat Ternes again. Thanks for taking the time to talk. It was great visiting. If Zack continues to hang out in quoted and kick the can down the curb and be a total pain in my ass, by the 13th of this month, he's going to get a new text or he's going to get an automated email. Again, great places to use your video proposals. If you guys are using Calendly, we integrate with Calendly. If you guys schedule appointments in here, we integrate. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that takes a grander scheme of what you're doing and turns it into what seems like an extremely personalized experience for most people. So that's all there. This is actually Zack's cell phone number. And while I text Zack all the time, I am going to give him a break here and at least turn off some of these automated emails because otherwise we're going to leave him sit here. The great part too is we have integrations with many of the major AMSs. So if you guys are on NowCerts, EasyLinks, Hawksoft, AMS 360, or QQ, when those leads come in, you guys are able to enter them into your sales process. And most often, they're going to be in your agency management system too. So all these texts that you're sending back and forth, all of the calls that you're making, if you guys even share over a PDF, you're not entering them anywhere anymore. They are there start to finish, and that E&O gap is suddenly filled by having something that truly tracks your sales process. And then I'm going to get into Google reviews and reports here. Zack, any questions before I hop over to a new section?
I think we're good for now. Edgar asked, are you available for a Spanish-speaking agency? I'm guessing that question was for me, for the website. So yes, we do have a translator that we can actually plug into the site where people can choose whatever language they want the content to be. Kat, I'm not sure about on your side if you guys have anything as far as translations goes. But
yeah, let's say Zack came in and we found out, lo and behold, Zack prefers to speak Spanish. And we start talking to him. He comes in from the website. You guys can either tag him at that point as Spanish speaking, and then all of his automation will change to Spanish, French, Italian, etc. Or depending again on how you guys choose to do your initial integration between Forge3 and AgencyZoom, you could bring him in right off the bat as somebody who needs Spanish-based automation. So I have one agency that has 19 different languages spoken. And I will admit that takes some extra work. And I can't read a majority of what they write.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it is definitely accomplishable, and we would have that capability to actually follow through on that with the Forge3 team.
Yep, absolutely. One more question before we move on to like the reviews and everything. So Dave Mathis asked, is the Hawksoft integration going from AZ to Hawksoft or Hawksoft to AgencyZoom? So how difficult is it to set up the Hawksoft integration to AgencyZoom?
Hawksoft integration is actually the easiest to set up. However, that's because it's got the least amount of details. For anybody that's on and is a Hawksoft agency, I know I already saw one of our mutual AgencyZoom Forge3 agencies that I know uses Hawksoft as well. Hawksoft does not have a writable API. So that means that nobody can put information into Hawksoft. What we do for our Hawksoft teams, and this agency is using this functionality, is every single one of your customers gets a unique link. See this cool little unique ID index up here? You guys have a custom field in Hawksoft that's for your CRM, AgencyZoom, etc. And then now that you have the HawkLink browser, you click on this link, and right within Hawksoft, you can actually open and operate AgencyZoom. So AgencyZoom is completely web-based. There's no cost for additional users. So we're really flexible on how you guys operate. Hawksoft's one of the few AMSs that, like I said, has an in-product browser. So you guys can actually use AgencyZoom right in Hawksoft. And to the general CSR, sales producer, they're not going to know the difference. The nice part for you guys as the agency owner is with us being web-based, or even with your producers being on the go, us having a mobile app even, suddenly Hawksoft's on the go with you, take it anywhere. Your sales process is on the go with you, take it anywhere. And the two still operate not even in communication, a little bit more almost in tandem with each other. So really good question. Just a funky setup for Hawksoft. So great question.
Awesome. That's it. Let's keep rolling.
Cool. I'm going to get into Google reviews because somebody brought them up, and they're certainly a fun part of it. So AgencyZoom helps you guys, and you're going to set your actual metric in here, your comfort level. So I have it set to 4 or greater stars, that when somebody is surveyed, and we naturally send out that survey normally after you've sold a customer, prior to them renewing, that you guys collect your Google reviews. If they give you 4 more stars, you guys could say, I'm brand new, I'm building out my brand, I only want 5-star reviews to go through. Totally fine. And that's where then Zack and the Forge3 team bring up a really good point. You are much better taking, nothing against Yang here, you are much better taking a quote like this, that's got some real meat to it, it's got some, potency to it, it means something to people, and putting that on your website as a true testimonial, it talks about specific people even, than just something generic, I love AgencyZoom. That doesn't tell you a lot about AgencyZoom. I also have an I love New York shirt, and quite frankly, the only thing I love about New York is some bagels, guys. So, you're better off taking these types of ones, this one, to Zack's point, but they are going to immediately go onto your Google review page. So we have that direct integration with your Google review. If you guys don't have a Google My Business yet, we can help you even set up your Google My Business to finally start using this functionality, because this is external facing. And you can respond right here too. So instead of leaving people hanging when they write something nice, you can say, thank you so much. We're very appreciative. I can spell. Okay. You can reply right from here too.
And then you've got, I see you've got Roger up there too.
Yeah, Roger
he's also, he's in here, he's trying to sell me insurance. So I told everybody on our last webinar that I'm buying a house. So big mistake. I told 100 insurance agents that I was buying a house.
Well, Roger's in Ohio too, Zach.
Yeah, so I appreciate the hustle. Williamson Insurance over in Newark is my agent. They're a Forge3 client. So they got to me first.
Love it. So yeah, guys, it's one of those things that I would encourage all of you, as you think about full circle, whether it's bringing your prospects from a website into a CRM, whether you think about your CRM, pushing people back to your website to get them used to that behavior of using your website as a true client center and a communication means, or of taking, again, a CRM, taking customer information and making it available to the public, or even using it to measure the likelihood that somebody is going to renew to you. We give you all that feedback that obviously somebody who's given you 1, 2, or 3 stars during their survey process, well, we're not going to ask them for a Google review because that's opening a whole can of worms. They have, 3+ policies. That's somebody that's at high risk and really costly to lose for the agency. So you guys can segment and do a lot of cool stuff in here. There's also really elaborate reporting. So I give Forge3, Zack and Jeff and the whole team over there a lot of credit. A lot of website vendors will not partner with us, guys. And that's because we can really hold their feet to the fire on how many sales does your website actually generate. What's the true ROI on this? Most of you guys probably kind of anecdotally right now say, I get 20 leads a month from my website, 1 every day. That's really cool. But the truth of the matter is, how many of those convert? The Forge3 team's pretty courageous. They're very confident in their product and the execution of it. We can actually come in here and look at the conversion by lead source. And I can say, new to quoted, Forge3 is bringing you not only new people, but people that will get a quote. They're going to interact with you. They're not just crappy, cheap auto shoppers. Quoted to sold, they're going to convert and turn into business. How do different producers in your team handle it? Zack talked about their producer functionality and the routing of that. You guys could see that too. Maybe I'm terrible at inbound leads from the website and Zack does a really nice job with it. That's something you guys would want to know and start to coach and mentor and help people on. You can see if people are getting better over time. So these are, when you talk about having a full digital strategy, these are where you tie those loose ends to truly make your agency successful and not have things slip through the cracks.
Yep, absolutely. And it's just a way to multiply your efforts, right? I mean, You have those sequences. We use sequences within like our CRM and it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Every task your sales team doesn't have to do, like every thank you text is appreciated by the customer, but it's a pain in the ass for the salesperson. And then Zack and I both, came up kind of through the same sales org. I can tell you how many times Zack and I even did our follow-up work. Kat, did you send out the demo thank you? Did you send them the link to my meeting? Zach, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. No, Kat, I need you to do that. Like we've been
Yeah,
there, done that ourselves on a team
it's
with each other.
terrible.
So
Yeah,
it's a joke if you truly believe that they're doing it consistently to the extent that you want. One, for your customer experience, the smaller a town you're in, the more important this actually becomes because you're going to burn bridges that much faster. The bigger a city, the more important because then you have that much more competition, that you're up against. So it's a double-edged sword and it's not fun, but at a pretty reasonable rate, there's a lot of ways to cover that, mend that, and make sure it doesn't happen.
and that's the big thing too. So we're all about this at Forge3. It's automation, but you still need to make it personalized, right?
Absolutely.
So don't let people know that it's just some robot sending out an email. You don't want that to be what they're thinking.
Yep.
And you guys do a good job of that with all the customization that you put into these sequences. It's awesome. Couple questions. So Scott asked, do you guys integrate with Applied Epic?
We do not. So Applied Epic and TAM, all of Applied's products, do not have a writable API. They also don't have a readable API. So anybody that's on Applied's products, you probably realize that for any integration, it costs you about $50,000. And that's not an exaggeration one way or another. That's because for every single agency and for every single integration, Applied rewrites the code unique to that specific integration. So instead of having an API, like Zach and I do, where we can just say like, all right, go plug this into the wall, match it up, make it work. Applied has to run the electric and then put up the drywall and then install the socket and everything like that.
Yeah.
So they just don't at scale have a way to operate with us. AgencyZoom just crossed 6,400 agencies that we've worked with now. We have just over 30,000 users that are active on the platform at any given time. So for us to integrate with an AMS, it's a pretty heavy swing, a big weight for them. You can imagine if Applied took their portion of our integrations, they would need to have an API. We have a couple hundred Applied agencies. They use it without. They do something a little bit similar actually to what Hawksoft does. But at scale, that is just about the only way they can do it. And without an API, you can't really operate at scale.
Yep. And then another question. Not sure if this is for you or for me, but I'll let you take the first crack at it. Is there a way to get a Google review without having a Gmail account?
Yes and no. In order to create a Google My Business page, Google will require you to have a Gmail account. You don't necessarily have to have that tied to your agency, but in order to authenticate that, I truly have my location at 123 Main Street, you're going to request a Google My Business account with a Gmail. When you do that, they send you a little postcard in the mail to that location. It's got like a 6-code verification. You go back to that Google My Business, you sign in with that little Gmail, and then you authenticate it, and it knows it actually got delivered to you and you weren't lying about where you were. Whether you guys continue to use that long term, not necessarily significant. You wouldn't have to maintain that Gmail account forever.
Yep. And then the other way to look at it too, I do believe that people have to have a Gmail account or at least a G Suite account to leave you a review, right? So either way, you'll have to get one of them set up. Long story short. So Kat, did you have anything else you wanted to show, or I don't know if I
we have a lot of other stuff that we can show, but I would just encourage agencies to get on and check it out based off of their AMS. We do 2 demos a week for every single AMS. We can schedule a one-on-one if you have really elaborate questions. Obviously, since you guys may or may not already know about Forge3, if you have questions about that, we'd be happy to host a one-on-one demo for you to talk about the pros and cons of integration style. But I think this is enough of a taste. This is the basics.
Sounds good. We'll give them just the appetizer. You got to connect with us for the full meal. So, so just to wrap things up, I don't think that we have any other questions. Do we have anything else come in?
I'm checking the chat. I don't think so. I think we're good on chat, and it looks like we're good on the question.
Pricing for AgencyZoom users. What's the deal?
Oh, super simple. So it's $79 a month if you guys are a single location agency. If you guys are a multi-location agency, and I don't mean like work from home, obviously a lot of us are going to continue working from home. But if you guys have multiple storefronts, again, think of like Google locations, even multiple Google locations, then it's $99 a month. If you're part of a network, a cluster, aggregators, you name it, There's a bunch of discounts and stuff like that that they've pre-negotiated for you. But at worst, you're going to walk out the door for $99 a month with AgencyZoom.
Yep. Awesome. And then for Active Agency, simple as well. It's $250 a month. There's no setup fees, no long-term contracts. It includes everything that we do. There's no like upcharges or anything like that. So Kat, thanks for having me. I think we have another question. We'll answer these as we go, but if you want to sign up for a demo, we'll send out a link to the AgencyZoom page. We'll also send out a link to our demo page on Active Agency along with the recording of this call. We're going to hang out here for a couple more minutes just to answer any questions that come in. So anything that you guys have, fire away.
So far, the newest question is disregard that. Haha. So somebody got their life put together and are doing great.
So let's see. Scott asks, is it $79 a month for Forge3 or AgencyZoom? Oh, he did say disregard that. Okay, there we go. John said, thank you. You're welcome for that dad joke, John. I know I'm a little young for that, but you know, getting married in July, so we're working on it, right? I'll officially be able to tell those jokes soon, maybe. We'll see.
Zach, we did have one come in that asked about a chatbot integration. I know we're able to integrate with live chats. I don't know if you want to talk about the live chat platform that you guys are using or how you integrate that into the website.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So pretty much any kind of chatbot or live chat you can tie into the site, right? So we're built on WordPress. So if a live chat doesn't have a WordPress plugin or any kind of integration, it's a bad chat, to be honest with you, because they're missing out on a majority of the market. So when it comes down to it, we usually recommend Chatra because Chatra is easy to use, but there's a ton of other chats out there. You can use like Facebook Messenger. I think there's like Pro Navigator. There's a bunch of other ones that you can use, and we can tie all of them into the site. You just need to let us know. Scott, for next steps to inquire about moving forward with Forge3, you can literally go to our website. You can hit schedule demo, and it'll set up some time for us to walk through, get to know your agency a little bit better, get to know what you're looking for as far as a website goes, and then we can get the ball rolling from that. So the demo will be either with me or with my colleague, Kenny.
Awesome. Zach, we have more questions coming in again on like pricing and setup. If you guys are already mutual agencies, which I think we have over 30 of you guys that are already mutual agencies amongst all of our teams at least. So if you're a mutual agency, one, thanks for coming and hanging out. Two, get a hold of Zach or I. Zach is probably going to pass you off to the tech team. Honestly, I'm going to get you over to our customer success team too. But we can get you routed in the right direction and talk to you about, do you put your AgencyZoom forms on your Forge3 website, or do you take your Forge3 forms and put them and log them into AgencyZoom? So you guys get to have some options there. And then again, for cost, AgencyZoom is $79 or $99 a month, depending on single or multi-location. That's all encompassing, same as what Zach said about Forge3. No setup, no contracts. Zach, you said $250 for you guys, right?
Yep. Yeah, $250 a month, not $1 more. So I tried to go with $249, but Jeff, our CEO, said that was too salesy. You know, I wanted to say under $250 a month, but whatever. It is what it is. I think Scott asked, are you able to integrate Forge3 with AgencyZoom when we have multiple Forge3 web pages? So could we tie multiple websites into the same AgencyZoom account, Kat?
You betcha. So if you guys have multiple brands associated, and I think I have another agency that's actually live on here that probably has around a similar question. They've acquired some agencies and they have loved their experience over the years with Forge3. They keep adding these new agencies, rebranding, taking care of them, but putting them on Forge3. What we would do then is, instead of having an individual lead source that is Forge3, we'd build you a lead category that is Forge3, and then we would have the lead source be that location's Forge3 website. That way you can see that this one Forge3 website is doing really well. Maybe this other one doesn't have as much customized content yet, or maybe you're deciding about form handoff and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll just help you guys identify them a little bit different so you can route them to different producers, all that kind of stuff. So yes, you absolutely can take multiple inputs and get them into AgencyZoom.
Awesome. We have a bunch of questions here. I'm just making sure we get everything answered. Any idea when Zanatech Connect integration is coming? Also, is it going to have a writable API? I don't know if you guys are working with Zanatech, Kat. We're trying to. I've been trying to get in touch with them. I know they've got a lot going on. So the goal is to work directly with them and be able to tie our forms into Zanatech, but not much progress yet, but we're still working on it. I don't know about you.
Zanatech team just reached out to us actually last week. Obviously, I think it's pretty prevalent for Erie, and we have I think out of the like top 10 Erie agents in the country, 7 of them are working with us. So I'm sure feet to the fire will probably have to. We haven't heard, similar to kind of what Zach said, we haven't heard a lot back from when Zanatech first reached out to us responding and saying happy to meet. So I don't have details yet on whether they have a writable API, and whether they do or not is outside of, Zach and I's control.
Yep.
They have to be able to receive the information we send. There's no mailbox on the front of the house, can't deliver mail.
Yeah. So if you're interested, ask them.
Yeah.
Ask them nicely though, Tell them Kat sent you.
Yeah, that'll be great. Please do that. Yes.
So let's see. So we went through over the pricing with Scott with $250 a month for Active Agency. Is there an integration with Partner XC for AgencyZoom or no?
No.
Not yet. Okay. So the answer to that is no.
No, just no.
Just no. It's not yet. It's just no. So, all right. Let's see. We've got the chatbot integration going on. I think we have just about everything answered here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to respond. I think Jeff will be sending out the recording probably tomorrow. Feel free to respond to that. Kat, I'll share the recording with you too, so that way you guys can send off everything. And then if you have any questions, you can literally go to forge3.com, right here. Let me share it for you. If you are interested, click schedule a demo. It'll lead right to our calendars. You can also go to AgencyZoom.com. We'll send out a link to the Forge3 landing page there, so that way you guys can request a demo or just request more information from them.
We're gonna, once this video goes out, we'll host it on our Forge3 landing page. So we have a pretty extensive partner network, a pretty extensive integration network now. So we have a full landing page for the Forge3 team on our website. So any of the AgencyZoom agencies that you guys come to our website all day, every day, Forge3 does have their own section of our website. And we're looking forward to putting this recording on there so you guys can come back and rewatch it. And then we do have, same thing, a link to schedule a demo with us on that page, but also a link to schedule a demo with Zach and his team for Forge3. Like I said, think the world of them. They've done a wonderful job. Every single agency we have speaks highly of them, which there's good website providers in our space, some of which are insurance specific, some aren't. Not all of them have the constant credibility that the Forge3 team has. So really excited about this partnership and really grateful that we could get this put together for you guys.
Absolutely. There's good and there's the best. So, that's the difference. You heard it from AgencyZoom. So let's see here. So now, any other questions? I think we had one from Jeremy. Is the lead quote integration the primary integration? Yeah, I mean, that's the primary tie-in. I think you can tie in other forms with AgencyZoom, but I'm not sure what functionality you'd want to use that for, right? I mean,
yeah, there's we have one of our agencies that is, because we have our service hub that's coming out, that you guys can have somebody request an auto ID card and all of that kind of stuff. It'll actually, just like there's lead cards in our system, it'll actually kick off service requests for you too. So we're having more and more agencies start to report a claim, request a policy change, certificate of insurance. They're starting to link these into AgencyZoom to create a service ticket. And when that service ticket is created, then there's automation behind that of, hey, Zach, thanks for letting us know about your claim. Is there anything I can do outside of, working with your carrier? If you're struggling with this, more than happy to talk to you about us being an independent agency. So there's a lot of automation that is important for you guys, claim and service orientation, to stay in touch with your clients. And that's what we're getting ready right now to set up some triggers that these types of forms that the team has come directly into AZ and kick off those tickets.
Yep. So Scott, this is kind of a preview of the client service functions, but when you sign up for that demo, we can walk you through into it a little bit more in depth. Edgar, demo from both can be in Spanish. I am not a fluent Spanish speaker. Kenny and our team can somewhat speak Spanish. I'm not sure. So I would say no, not fluently, but we'll do our best. Kat, do you speak Spanish?
I'm probably on par with Kenny. That said, our customer service team lead, not our customer service manager, but our customer service team lead fluently speaks Spanish. She's actually, I think, Spanish first language, English second language. So if you needed that, we could host a demo. And like I said, we even have a service person that speaks Spanish. That way, if you guys have agents on your team, virtual assistants, you name it, that we are able to support our Spanish-speaking agencies.
Yep. So long story
No
short,
other languages. That's
long
as
story
much
short,
as we get.
we'll figure it out, right? So, all right, awesome. I don't think we have any other questions. Again, if you need anything from us, shoot us an email. We will be sending a follow-up tomorrow, but thanks for all the engagement today, guys. I mean, a ton of questions. I mean, we were done by 1:30 and now it's 1:47 just from answering questions. So fantastic. And thanks for joining me, Kat. I appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Thanks for the partnership. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to continuing to work with you. So have a good day, everybody.